Welcome to Marvelicious Toys. We bring you news and reviews of Marvel toys, statues, and more. Because not all Marvel collections can be bagged and boarded. They're not just toys, they're Marvelicious.
So going through this wave in order, figure number 1, and they are numbered once again for our ease of use, is Ant-Man, and it is indeed the movie-based Scott Lang Ant-Man.
I think this might be the first Paul Rudd action figure.
They didn't make one for our idiot brother?
Somebody at Comic-Con must have customed up a Halloween 6 figure.
Maybe, but there are Anchorman action figures.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So maybe we'll steal one of those to get the head.
That was my next question, is does he have another head?
No, it's just the masked interpretation because they are, I guess, going superhero-y. I find it a little amusing that we just got the movie one and not a comic one, given that other figures we're going to be discussing here are comic-based. But yet, I like when they do movie-based figures. Spoiler alert, Ant-Man is going to show up in Civil War, so he can hang out with my Avengers.
Yeah, and out of this wave, he is the only movie-based character we get. Everything else from here on out is going to be comic. So that makes it a little strange that this is the only one. But let's talk about this one, because I think this is a great sculpt. I mean, it's brand new from head to toe. There's no reused parts here. And from what I can tell, I've only seen the movie once. It looks to be pretty darn accurate to what we've seen on screen as far as the suit and helmet goes.
Yeah, and the colors are really good as well. The muted red and silver, it looks a lot like the movie incarnation of the suit, the more realistic look to it, if there could be such a thing.
So realistic look to a fake movie. Actually, pulling up the picture of the movie, it is very close. I think they've had to take some liberties with the painting, but if you didn't look up at a picture, you'd be like, that's pretty damn accurate, because that's what you guys are saying.
What's different then?
I don't know what to call it, the red on his chest in the movie, it's a different shape. Like, they kind of got the shape right, but it's different. And I imagine they had to do some because of the articulation. It's just a different shape, and that's the only thing I can tell you. And it looks like they're missing some of the silver piping on his legs and pants as well. Not a deal killer, still a fun figure because it's got a lot going on top with the silver and everything. But he did have some silver piping on his pants as well.
Oh, you're right. I'm looking at a picture now, too, and he does have more piping going on.
Yeah.
And I'm also now reminded that the helmet, when he wore it most of the time, covered all of his face and not just the top part and left his mouth showing.
Oh, that's true. And when it flipped up, it kind of flipped back.
Yeah. So now I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get that helmet. Oh, so yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Maybe we'll get a revised version of this, come Civil War.
I wonder, there seem to be a lot of heroes in Civil War. I'm curious how deep Marvel's going to go on that.
Yeah, it's a good point. It makes me question now, like, the choice of pack-ins they did here. Like, would have I rather had a more accurate helmet or maybe even a Scott Lang head rather than an Anthony pack-in ant?
I think a Scott Lang head would have made more sense. I kind of feel like Paul Rudd's gotten the shaft on this.
I agree. I think that head would have been really nice. That said, I'm happy to get the only Yellow Jacket figure we're going to be discussing today. He may only be a half-inch tall and about the size of those Monopoly pieces I was talking about, but he's Yellow Jacket.
I think your Monopoly pieces are bigger than that.
I think so, too.
Yeah, he's teeny tiny, and they actually tried to put some paint on there. I'm not sure how well it worked because it's so small, but I can see some silver on his helmet and on his back and on the one of those little metal things that he has coming off of his backpack.
Yeah, and they're all spread out and not articulated, obviously, at this size. So it really looks like he's about to skim the pool, and he's got the big pool skimmer bar because they're not up over the shoulder like pincers like they are in the film.
He's the pool boy.
Hence the scuba gear.
It almost looks like somebody stuck him on his back too low and he's trying to reach for him.
And the pose, I mean, it could be a little disco-y.
Well, it's better than the pose they put little tiny Ant-Man in, which seems to be riding an invisible horse.
Or pooping in the woods.
I think it's because he's supposed to be riding Anthony.
Is he supposed to go on this ant that we came with?
Yes, I bet that's the case. He's riding Anthony because we did get Anthony.
Yeah.
Now, this is a giant freaking ant no matter what scale you're in.
Yeah, I don't think that they go together now seeing Anthony.
Like, if this bug at this size flew up to somebody the size of Ant-Man, I think it came from the Savage Land or the movie Evolution.
I think we established that caw and tookie do not work.
Good reference.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to get my Ant-Man to sit on Anthony, and the only place I can get him to even, like, sort of fit is right around his neck. And that's not where he sat.
No. He also sits near the butt.
Yeah, he can sit kind of on the hindquarters.
Behind the rear legs.
Oh, okay. I think he sat up closer to the wings because you have him kind of harnessed up there with that little...
Oh, yeah. Well, he doesn't sit there, but he sits near the butt.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't look like he's pooping, so I think you must display him on Anthony.
All right.
Now, Anthony here is a little bit interesting. He's obviously not all one piece, but if there's articulation, I don't see it.
Yeah, these wings look like they might move, but the more I try, the more I feel like I'm just going to break them off. I think they're just molded in a different color plastic and then glued in there.
Yeah, they appear to be, well, I don't know. I don't think that they're necessarily glued in. Perhaps they just had a different injection mold? Although, no, wait. Okay, they're pegs. I wonder, because there's a seam that runs along it, if it was half the ant was made, yep, there's a seam, I can see it. So, like, they made the bottom part, and then they put Anthony's hump on with his head.
Over the wings.
Yeah,
that's
over
how they
the
lock
wing.
the wings in.
Oh, I see what you're talking about, yeah.
So the wings are one piece, because you can see through Anthony. If you hold him up against the light, where his wings are, you can see through the hole there.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to break him, you can start pulling it up and it starts coming apart. So
yeah.
Don't do that if you want a non-broken Anthony. But as far as like the detail goes in it, it's a little kid's bug toy. I mean, I don't think there's any more detail here than you might get in like a bag of toys that you buy at the zoo in the gift shop or something like that. But
No.
It works for what it's supposed to do, I guess. It's a giant ant for a tiny Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's not legend-sized. It's a giant ant for a 6-inch figure. It's a giant ant for me. If I saw this ant in my house, I would not live here anymore. Exterminators can't stop ants of this magnitude.
Yeah, they definitely messed around with the scales here because it's way too big for even a 12-inch figure. This would be way too big. This is way too big for human scale, for 1-to-1.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, like, I guess if they were going to do it, they couldn't go any smaller.
But back to the main figure here, apart from the non-articulated accessories and the Ultron part, which is his head, and we'll talk about that later, I like the paint job on him. Now you guys have pointed out that this isn't the right mask, and that's all I'm seeing, but...
Yeah, that's kind of bumming me out. Going into this review, I was really happy with this figure. Now I'm slightly disappointed.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird hybrid between the comic version that does have this chin strap in the mouth and the red eyes... and the Paul Rudd version with the more muted red suit and the gray. I think they're trying to bridge that.
Yeah, or maybe they just, they started on this earlier than they needed to, and this is what they ended up with, and then they changed it for the movie. Who knows?
Or maybe they're planning on reusing or retooling this head for a later Ant-Man comic-based figure.
Yeah, could be.
But the articulation on him is really good. Double-jointed knees, ankle rockers... double-jointed elbows. I mean, this guy can move better than Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's got all the articulation that you would hope for. And, I mean, just even looking, not basing this on accuracy, but just looking at the detail, they've got some awesome detail in here. They sculpted little ribbed, material on the inside of his arms, which is neat. I mean, there's just little details all over the place. The back has the metal clamps and discs and bars and wires and stuff, and his belt is very detailed.
And has a nice wash on it. It doesn't look too silvery.
Yeah, the belt and the helmet both have a little bit of that tarnished metal look to it, which is cool.
It's more of an industrial metal, though. That's, I think, what you guys are going on, right? It's not like shiny chrome, but it's industrial.
Yeah, like it's been used, from the movie, I mean, in the movie, it's not a new suit. It's the one that that Douglas was using back in the 80s. So all in all, I give this figure a pass, even though it's not 100% accurate. I think I can sit it on my shelf with my Avengers, and it looks like it's part of the movie universe.
I completely agree. I think it's a pretty nice figure.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Marvelicious Toys with more collecting news and reviews at marvelicioustoys.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, make mine Marvelicious.